Hi, this is David Kitchens with Juniper Post, and I'm just going to go over the general workflow of a film here. See if I don't know if this is large enough. Hopefully it is. Um, but basically, um, this is a possible workflow. Not all workflows are that way. And I'm going to go across the top here, it flows this way, and then I'll go down and explain. Um, when we start audio post, we need content from you, so we'll get the turnover, and then we get started on all the sound editing. And once we have queued the ADR, we can record the ADR and voiceover. And then once all of this is done, and we have uh, a more final video with some visual effects, music, song, score, we can start a premix. And our workflow, we provide you a frame IO output before the mix so that when you show up, you're not hearing the mix cold for the first time. Um, and that is one way to save uh, funds. There are some processes where we're doing temp mixes, and that's kind of you're in the studio and we're hearing those temp mixes and we're repeating this process. That's what this process is here over and over, which I'll go over separately. Most independent films can't afford that process because it can get costly. It's like basically you're redoing the sound over and over is kind of our when we're doing tip mixes, and that stands for temporary. And those are for audience screeners, so producers can see it and see how the cut's working with final sound, etc. So I'll come back to that in a minute. Once you were done with this and you show up at the studio with your notes ready to go, we do the mix process, and the amount of days on that can vary. And then when we're done doing the mix, we do a review and any changes, and that is the end of your audio post process with us. And then we start doing the audio deliverables, and each film has a different deliverable set, which is in your agreement. When you sell the film, or if you already have distribution, it goes through a quality check, quality control, and we fix anything that may come up or alter anything per the spec that is required. And and then if there is anything needed, then we re-deliver the show. And then we have our own proprietary term, completed audio post, or CAP for short. It is defined right here, and that's just all of your audio deliverables per your agreement. And then we recommend you archive this in any way that works best for you. I don't recommend a drive. There's LTO formats; those are tape formats. Those have a shelf life of maybe 10 years, but I wouldn't trust that. And then there's cloud solutions. And there are many of those. Happy to talk to you about those. So now just to go through this whole thing again, when you turn over to us, production provides us a 30-second test that has some picture and sound that so we can see. Actually, if you want to do longer, like a 1 minute, that's great too. Just the test is the AAF, and we can see that everything is working properly. And then we debug that if we need you to do that. And then we can test your EDL and your production audio that it's linking up properly. And once we get this 30-second test sorted out, then you do full turnover. That way you're not turning over the whole movie and there's something wrong and you have to keep doing that over and over, because this can sometimes take a day or more for somebody to turn over. And we can save you a lot of time just by doing a 30-second test. And then once we have that, we want to go through with you. There's different forms to go through your needs. Some is just people provide us notes, or we do a remote session where we're going through the film with you, and just make sure there's nothing that is, we want to know the not obvious things that you need. Like maybe there is an explosion off screen that causes everyone to look to the left or something. There's so many different things that could take place, but we just find out what those types of things are. And then we start your complete sound editing, which is your dialogue loading and editing, ambiences and surround, any special design work, which could be, building a car sequence that matches all the actions on the screen, or an alien or a monster or a spaceship or who knows what sounds that just have to be designed for those moments. And all of the footsteps, handling of props, movement, which is the Foley, and then just traditional sound effects, uh, beeps, bumps, car starting, you know, whatever sound effects need to be edited. And once all of these things are done, we will have use those in the premix phase. During this phase, we're also queuing the ADR, and we'll get those over to you. We need your creative cues. And once we have your creative ADR cues, and those will be something like some off-screen dialogue or phone conversations or whatever the case may be that is not going to be technical. We're going to provide you with cues that are, dialogue distorted that we can't repair. And there's a lot of things we can repair now, more so than you in the past for sure. But anything that you have, we need it provided to us with time code number, etc. So that the character name, the time code, where it starts and the line. And then we'll incorporate that with our technical cues. And then we'll work with you to schedule the ADR with your people that are out of town, people that are local. And ideally, we get as many people that are local at the same day, so we can do this in as efficient as possible. And then there is a section, if your film has groups of people and we want to do some live recordings of groups, I have a recommendation for that. I have different, they're called loop groups. I have several of them that we recommend depending on your budget. And we can get that recorded and you can supervise that, and that'll be all part of your ADR portion. And then we edit that so that it's in sync, seamless, organized, get rid of any weird anomalies that may have come up. And then we can also talk to you about out-of-state, out-of-country ADR, places to use, and so forth. So that's all the ADR section. And then here again, we just need the final video that has VFX. We need your music, which is your songs that you have in the movie, your score. And then we can start our premix, which is our mix before you're working with us to do the final mix. And then we give you a frame.io output. Like I said, if we're doing temp mixes, we'll receive a lock cut. We take all of our sound, make sure it matches this new locked cut, and we do additional sound editing if needed, additional pre-mixing if needed, because sometimes there's new scenes and whatnot. This is a more costly workflow where we're doing sound while you're changing the picture and your audience screeners. And then after we've done that, then we can either give you a frame.io output or in most cases with temp mixes, clients come in and we do a 2 to 3 day mix review. And this process just keeps happening over and over until the film is finally locked. And at that point, we're here. For most independent films, we're just going straight from the frame.io output to here. And you show up with your notes. We spend however many days that you have in your package to do your mix, do a review and changes, and you're free to go. And then we just start the deliverable process, which I explained earlier. And then this goes over what the audience screeners, which is in this section here. And this also defines completed audio post again, if you need that. Hope this is helpful. If you have any question, feel free to email me or give me a call. This is a possible workflow. There's so many different things you could do, but this is pretty much the most standard. I hope that clears some things up, and feel free to ask me any questions.